The very first thing I have to do for separating the hand is I have to duplicate the hand. We learned that sometimes if I just select a layer and press Ctrl C, Ctrl V, you can see that after you duplicate that, the position of the new layer changes. So in order to avoid that, I hold Alt or Option on Mac and click on the layer, drag it up. And in this way you can duplicate the layer without being worried that the layer would move. Now this would be my arm layer. I do the renaming, my elbow, and my hand. For my arm layer, I'm going to turn these two layers off. For my arm layer, I want the arm to be somewhere up to here. So I grab the pen tool and erase this part. I press Ctrl T to be sure that my rectangular guideline is exactly around my shape, which is good. It means I have a clear shape. Now I want to have the elbow that starts exactly after arm in order to be able to see the arm and also elbow and also that line between them. I change the arm from normal view to multiple view. Now you can see that I can see the arm here. So I have to go to elbow and just get rid of these two parts. And I would do the same thing. For hand I don't need to do that because I know which part should I get rid of. One thing you can do, you can go to Magic Wand tool. When you are using this tool, whenever you click on a layer, as long as you have a solid color, when you select that solid color, as long as you have that solid color, it selects all the pixels that has that color. So I select the blue one, get rid of that, press Ctrl D to get rid of the selection part. And to be sure that I do not have anything left, I just grab the eraser and just draw. Press Ctrl T. My layer is clean. The issue is that when I want to import that in After Effects and put the anchor point, probably my anchor point for arm would be here, and for my elbow would be somewhere here, and for my hand would be here. If I put the anchor points here, when I do the rotation, and the anchor point is here, something like that would happen in After Effects. You can see that this part pops up, and we don't want that to happen. In order to avoid that, beside all these layers, you also need a guide layer. For your guide layer, you have to grab the ellipse tool, and on top of all of my layers, I need a half of a circle shape. So in center of that half of a circle shape, if I put my anchor point there, when I do the rotation, no extra part pops up. Let's see how it works. In my guide layer, I'm going to create a circle. I'm going to put my circle somewhere here. In order to be sure that my circle is in the correct place, I change my guide layer to multiply. Now I can see my guide layer and also my arm layer. This looks fine for me now. Let's create another circle for our elbow. This circle was for arm. So I grab my, and let me change the color. Red is better. I'm going to create another circle here. Probably somewhere here is fine. I have to expand it a bit more to be sure that it is as wide as my elbow. Again, I change this to multiply. Now I can see that the placement of my my second circle is kind of fine, but in order to be sure, I have to turn off my arm layer. Now this circle should be a bit down. This is good for now. Now I am going to create one more circle for the hand. I move it on top of my hand. It's too big. I just have to change the size. I'm going to change the visibility to multiply so I can see that. Here I turn off elbow so I can just see my hand. I select the last circle and put the circle somewhere here, because the center of my circle should be exactly at the line that the hand is cutting. So you can see that this line of the hand should be exactly in the center of my circle. Now I have the my guide circles. They are all fine. I select all of them here, press Ctrl E, Ctrl E. Now I have merged them merge them together. You can see that now it's a shape layer. In order to make it change it to a regular layer, I have to create a new layer, select my shape layer and my regular layer, and again press Ctrl E. Now you can see that my guide layer is a regular layer. The thing is, now again I change my guide layer to multiply, and before moving forward I want to grab the black color, and in the center of all of my guide layer I want to put a pointer as a guide for myself. You can do that more precisely if you want to do that more precisely, the better way is creating a guide layer on top of all of them. In this guide layer, go to view. Your ruler should be there, so you make the ruler visible there. If I click on the ruler and grab and drag down, you can see that I can grab some line from my ruler, and I can put that exactly in the center of my circle. I will do the same thing here. And I will do the same thing for this circle. Now in this layer I would grab my color black and define the oops the center of each circle. Now I don't need these lines anymore. I am holding control and hovering over these lines and just moving these lines back to the ruler. Now I can get rid of them. And now I select all of these layers and press Ctrl E. Now they are all merged together and I rename it to guide layer. Now and I want to change my guide layer view to multiply. Now I can see my guide layer as well as my arm layer. So I have to have the drawing of my arm layer also in this part. So when I import this into After Effects, I will put the pivot point somewhere here. So I select my arm layer, I grab my pen tool, I hold Alt to pick the color. Now I have picked the color. I can increase the size of my my pen. In order to be sure that I just draw inside this circle, I hold Control and click on the here in my layers, click on the guide layer. You can see that it selects all the pixels I have in my guide layer. So when you hold Control and click on any of these layers, it selects all those layers that you have painted in that layer. So I hold Control, I click on guide layer because I want this shape to be selected. I go to arm layer and I just draw. I don't need this part, so I don't draw this part. I can even erase it a bit more. I press Ctrl D. I can turn off my guideline. Now this is the correct shape for arm. Let's do the same thing for elbow. I select my elbow layer, hold Control, click on guide layer. Now this shape is also selected. These two shapes are selected, but we don't care about them. I grab my pen tool and draw. I press Ctrl D to get rid of the selection. I turn off my guide layer. That works good. The last part is my hand layer. Again, I select my hand layer, hold Control, click on the guide layer. Now these circles also, as well as the other circles, are selected. The only circle I would use would be this circle. I hold Alt to pick the yellow color here and draw here. And I press Ctrl D. To get rid of the selection, I turn all of my layers on and I put back my guide layer to normal. If I turn it off, you can see that I have all of my layers, and I'm sure in these points, when I import that in After Effects, in these points, and when I put the anchor point here, when I do the rotation, nothing strange and unusual would happen. Is there any question? Is it obvious? Now I have this character in After Effects, and you can see that I have the guide layer on top of that, so you can see all these circles for guide. I want to rig this character to be able to apply walk cycle on that. I want to start with head. What's the first step I have to do? And you can see that on top of it I have glass, I have hair, star, hat, I have all these layers separated. What's the first step?
Change the pivot of the neck.
Of neck?
And then head.
The pivot point of neck. Because of this guide, I have to put the pivot point of neck here. For head, I have to put the pivot point of head exactly here. In this case, when you do the rotation over the head, you can see that, let me turn this off. When I do the rotation overhead, you can see that it is still happening because still my drawing is not precise, but it is working. Nothing strange happens. So let's start with glasses. The pivot point for glasses probably is somewhere here because the character does not have nose, but this part would be a good part for glass to be controlled of. For hair, it should be on the tip of the hair. For a star, it has to be somewhere here, so I move it to here. For hat, I will put it somewhere here. For eyelid, eye pupil, anything that is related to eye or mouth, we don't need to change the pivot point. And they are all going to be the child of head.
Head is child of neck.
Hold on. Because we have to do one more step before that. Is there any question so far? Is it obvious? Before we move on for defining who is the parent for head, let's take a look at neck. If you have a neck that is long, like this neck, it's better to add also pins for neck, at least 3 pins. So I grab my pin tool and put 3 pin on my neck. And for the last one, I have to be sure I put the last one here. Now I want to apply FK. What should I do? How can I change these pins to FK?
First rename them.
I would rename it to neck root, neck mid, and neck up. Next.
Select all of the pins. Go to, I think it's links and constraints.
Yep,
And then add pins.
exactly. Now you can see that the next, they are all here. What's next? There's just one last step we have to do.
You have to parent the pins.
Exactly. Up is the child of mid, mid is the child of root. Now who's the parent of head?
Neck. Parent head. Well, that would be the.
If you have pins, you don't choose the layer as the parent anymore. You have to choose one of the pins as the parent.
Yeah. Neck up.
Neck up would be the parent for head. Does that make sense? Everything has parent except for this color part of the body. We will talk about it. The neck, we don't need to define any parent for neck because we already have pins on that, and pins are responsible for movement of the head. For pins on neck, this neck still does not have parent. We will figure it out later. We will figure out this out later. Again, let's go to body. This is body. How many pins do I need?
3.
Where?
Upper body, chest, and lower, or root.
And my suggestion is always start from root to up. so it means always start from your first parent to last child. And root is going to be your first parent, so start from root. Probably somewhere here would be good, and somewhere here would be good. I would rename them. The first one is root. The second one is chest. The last one is neck. Now I want to apply FK. Always body, most of the time body is FK. What should I do? Back of the class, what should I do? I have pins, I want to apply FK, and I have Duik. What should I do? So what of these which of these options should I click? So what was that? Add pins, exactly. I click on add pins, I click on ignore here. Now the pins of body is there. What should I do next? Parenting. Neck is the parent of chest. Chest is the parent of root. Before we move on, let's take a look at the rotation here. This is working fine. This is fine. And the last one shouldn't do anything, which is fine. Now we said we do not have any parent for neck root. Which one should be the parent for neck root? Neck? Oh, this one? Okay. When you do that, this works. And this works. You can parent it both to neck, depending on the placement of your pins and your design. Let's parent it to chest. Chest is also working. Here in this design with these pins, chest is also working. So let's put it back on neck. As I said, we don't touch this because already we have pins. Whenever you have pins on any layer, you don't define any parent for the main layer. You just define the parents for the pins. Who's the parent for? We don't have any pin for the color of the clothes. So we have to define the parent for the layer itself. Who's the parent? Chest? Chest body. Let's see. Yeah, it works. What if I make it neck? This works. This doesn't work because we don't want when we rotate the neck, we don't want the color to rotate with that. Most of the time the color of the clothes stays there. So we will put it back on chest. We don't touch this. Front part of the collar also should be the child of chest. Now everything has parent. Except for this, we don't care. This has parent. Let's go to arm. As you can see, my arm has 3 separate layers. I want to apply FK. I don't need my eye because I'm just doing a walk cycle. I don't need IK for hand. I just need FK for my hand. I have separated layers for hand. How should I apply FK?
pins and for FK. You change the angle.
Exactly. Because we already have separated layers and we just need them to follow each other normally. So I go to arm, I move the anchor point somewhere here. I go to elbow, I have to move the anchor point exactly on the center of my guide layer, and I go to arm and move the anchor point to the center of my guide layer. What's next?
Is this when you use the pen tool to like make the path for the bones?
That is for IK.
Okay.
This is FK. What happens in FK? What is the rule of FK for hand? What is the definition of FK for hand? Yes.
The next step be to parent.
Why we do that? Can you explain FK for hand?
So since it's in separate parts, you need it to parent so that when it moves, like when the shoulder moves, the wrist moves.
Exactly. So when we have FK for hand, we need the main parent to be shoulder and let the last children to be hand. We want the children to be controlled just by parent. We don't want the vice versa version. So in this case, we just keep our layers and just apply the parenting. Now these two have, and we don't have any pins or bones on top of them, so we have to define the parenting on the layers itself. Who is the parent for R? Which part of the body? Because on your body you have pins, you have to choose the pins. What was your suggestion?
Chest.
Let's make it chest. Works? What else? Now we are done with this hand, we are done with body. For torso, we don't touch that. The torso is enough. Let's go to leg. For leg, because we are doing walk cycle, we have to do IK. Now you can say that I have 2 layers for leg. The way I do that, so I need bones to be able to make IK on top of that, and in order to get to the bones, I need pins. So I go to my F leg, I grab my pin tool, and you can see that the upper part of the leg is separated than the shoe is separated from shoe. That's fine, you can do something like that, and now we will see how you can manage that. So you need 3 pins here. The last one should be here. Now I rename them. This is thigh, this is calf, and this is ankle. I select them and click on add pins. I press ignore. I apply the hierarchy here. Ankle is the child of calf, calf is the child of thigh. Now I have to, before I move on, I have to do the same thing for shoe layer. So I go to the shoe layer, I create 3 pins, I rename them, ankle, toe, tiptoe. I do the same thing. I select the pins, click on add pin here, click on ignore. These pop up. So tiptoe is the child of toe, toe is child of ankle, and the ankle of shoe is the child of the ankle of leg. Up. Ankle of shoe is the child of ankle of leg. Now I have the pins. If I apply the rotation, this should work, which is correct. Now on top of these pins, I have to create my bones. But as you can see here, I have two ankles. I have to choose one of them. How do I choose that? I zoom in here. I check the rotation for both of them to see which one looks better. Both were almost the same, but I like the ankle of the leg better, so I don't need this ankle. So this would be the ankle of the leg would be the ankle I'm going to use. I will put them in sequence: thigh, calf, ankle, toe, tiptoe, and this is the ankle I don't want to touch. I select from thigh to tiptoe, from the main parent to the last child. I select from thigh to tiptoe, go to hominoid, click on the option for leg. This is right leg, this is front, that's correct, and the toes should not be selected, which is correct, and I click on leg. Everything looks fine for me. Let's apply the rotation on my thigh. The issue is that the structure is there. The structure is working. It's not just attached to the body. What should I do?
Parent the layers to the bones. Or parent the pins to the
Parent the pins to the bones. In order to be able to do the parenting easier, I grab all these pins, move them up right below my bones, and do the parenting. And all these pins are the child of the bones. So thigh is the child of thigh, calf is the child of calf, ankle is child of foot, toe is child of tip, and we don't touch this. Now I have to select again from the main parent to the last child, which is from thigh to tip. I select the bones and I click on auto rig. Any questions so far? Is the process obvious? The controller always pops up on top of everything. I grab the controller of leg to test it. That works properly. This works properly. Works properly. My heel works properly. My foot roll works properly. We're doing F leg, F shoe. Now let's do, who wants to do back leg? I need a volunteer. It's exactly like F leg. From back of the class. I need a volunteer to do back leg.
Let's see if I can remember chat.
have two separate layers for back leg.
Oh my god, it's so much smaller up here. This is crazy.
You can make it a little bigger if you want.
This is beautiful. Okay, cool.
What's the first step? Explain to the whole class.
First step, chat. Our first step is we're gonna add some pins. So we're gonna go over our leg. Maybe, if it lets me. Leg. Beautiful. Pins.
Which layer are you?
I'm on back
Oh,
leg.
okay. Yep.
Pen. 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 And then this one. Pen.
Probably
Hello.
was outside. Try to
Pen.
put it inside the.
What? Why is it yelling at me? What did I do? Whoa. I don't have a clue what's going on here, but I'll act like I do. Back shoe.
Yeah, you were.
Puppet.
And click on effect. Delete that. Press backspace. Now we're starting.
Beautiful.
And I would say put the pin inside the shape.
Yeah.
Now this is. Okay.
We're good. We're good. We're good. We got there. Chat, we got there. And then
Yeah.
here and there. Beautiful. Now we're gonna name our stuff. See if I did it right. Leg. Where are my pens? It's not showing me my pens. This is tragic. There they are. That's ankle. That's knee
Or calf.
or calf. And this is thigh. Beautiful. That's saved. Good. We go to deform. We go to these. This is toes. Or, yeah, that works too. This is our tiptoe. This is our normal toe. This is our ankle again. Beautiful. And then we have these, which we say, if I can, my brain can work, give these pens. Yay. And then we go here, grab these. Give these pens. Ignore. Yay.
And close each layer so you can fly.
Yeah. Get rid of these. We don't need you anymore. No, not what I want to do. Actually, that's beautiful. Chat, I'm goated. This is great. I'm going to bring these up to the top first, so that way I'm not losing my mind later. And then it's not this one, but everything else. Wait. This to this to this. No. You're bad. And then we go here. And we go here. And we go here. Your
Can you open?
that what?
Yeah.
You're right. You are correct. Chat, I was bound to forget something. This is the parent of this. This is this. This is this. This is this. And this is this.
Yep.
Yes. Now we're there. Now we're good. We're back. We're back. Thank you. Thank you all. No!
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine.
Is it left?
Press Ctrl Z.
Yeah, no. Leg.
This is.
Wait, now it's right.
This is left. Yeah, this is left.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it should be back.
And it is back. And then everything else is good. We got there. All the stuff and all the things. So we have. Yeah, this is roughly correct.
Yeah, just double check the rotation of your thigh.
Yeah, thigh, R. Seems good enough.
So we do parenting for pins here 2 times. At first we did that to get the bones, and after that we do that again to connect the pins to its bones.
Cinema. I don't know why the feet are backwards, but.
Grab the controller. Yeah, that works. Good job.
So much smaller. Hot
There are a couple of small points we have to take care of for the backhand. I didn't do the rigging for backhand because at the end for the animation we will just do a simple rotation for backhand. The only thing I care about is putting the anchor point here. Who's the parent? Body, chest. Who's the parent? Who's the parent? Torso? Everyone torso? If a layer has pin or bone, we don't choose the parent for the layer. We do everything through the bones and pins. Who's the parent?
No.
Okay.
You won't get us again. Which one?
Got you.
Left leg, nothing. Body?
Torso.
Body, torso?
Torso's.
No, torso would be the child.
Well, torso's normally root in the center mass. Oh no, because it has
No,
pins.
the root is blocked.
It has pins.
Pins. Root should be.
Exactly. Root is a child. Root is a child of torso.
I fell for my own trap.
Everything has parent. Neck. Okay. Guide layer.
We don't. It's been used.
Thigh. This is the one you have to define the parent, because if I grab the torso and move it, or even the chest or the root of the body and move it, this is what happens.
Would you connect it to the root or the root body or the torso? Or does it matter?
It matters. So the actual parent would be torso. The torso is the parent for both root and the thigh of leg. Where is that?
It's highlighted.
Oh, yeah. So which one was that? 60 torso. And again this one, the thigh, 60 torso. Whenever you have controller, we never choose any parent for the controller, because the essence of having controller is we want to control that. We don't need any parent to control that. Never choose any parent for controller. That's why this controller is fine not to have any parent, and this controller is fine. Yep.
Is there a way to like reduce how cluttered this composition is?
We will get to that.
Okay.
We will get to that. Everything looks fine. Before we move on, let's say I have this character here just for the beginning of my animation, not for animation purpose, just for putting my character in a composition. I need one more layer, and I would call it master layer. It shouldn't have any visual shape, but it has to have all the feature of a layer. What should I use? Null layer. So I create a null layer and I rename it to master controller. For this part, because we are just moving the main, we want to move the main body, the only things that are going to be the child of the controllers and torso. Now if I grab my master controller and move it, everything is moving with that. And you just use that for placing your character in your composition. You never animate your master controller. Now let's clear this place.
I was about to say, if you had two rigged characters.
Yeah. At the very first thing we have to take care of are going to be these colors. Everything that is in the middle, choose yellow for that. Everything that is in the back, choose red for it, and everything that is in front, choose green for it. Master controller, it doesn't matter, I choose yellow because it doesn't belong to back and forward. This controller, let me see, this is my backlit controller. These are all my backlit controllers. I select them and I change them. That's fine. For IK we don't touch them. What else? Back foot. This is back foot, back calf. These are all back layer. I select them and I choose red for that. Sorry, these should be red. Anything in the back, it should be red. Back, back. These are front. These should be green. These are front. These should be green. This should be green. I would choose orange for guide layer. For glass to head, they are all in the middle of the body, so I choose yellow for them. For color of the body, I choose yellow again. For neck, I again choose yellow. For arm, because it's front, I choose green. Body, yellow. Torso, yellow. Oh. Oh. F leg, F shoe, green, green, back, red. Now let's get back to, now we have better understanding what's happening. Whenever you, on a layer, whenever you have a controller, the only thing you would need from that layer would be the controller. And After Effects has a feature, and with this feature you can shy a layer. When you shy a layer, the layer is there, we just don't see that. Do you see for some of them the shy layer is activated? For these three it is already activated. For this is already activated. For these three it means they should be shy. How can I activate that? I have to click on this icon. They all go away. They are still there. We just don't see them. They go away from our layers. So whenever we don't need any layer, we have to shy that, because we don't need extra layers here. And if you're looking for some layers, you can click on this. It again pops up. We need the controller for leg. We don't shy it. We need that. For these one, they were by default, they were shied and hide. I don't touch them. Do I need this? We don't need that. Because the leg already has controller, so we don't need this bone anymore. I hide it, so I don't see that, and shy it. Foot, do I need that? No, 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 no. And if I click on that, you can see that they start to go away. For the bone of thigh, keep it just in case. Sometimes when you are doing the walk cycle, this part of the body pops up. So you can keep that so you can fix that issue. For shoe, do I need that? No. Shoe tiptoe, nothing for shoe. I hide them. So, and you can see that when I start to hide them, they also start to disappear from here. So even visually, I don't have to deal with them. Foot, calf, thigh. Yes. We always keep the thigh off, the bone thigh, because when we do the walk cycle, it may pop up. So with the help of this, we can fix it. Shoe, shoe, leg. If you have controller, definitely you would need any pins for that layer. I got my guide layer, I don't need that. Glass, hair, star, hat. Do you need that? Do you want to animate this part of the body? Yeah. Do you want to? If you want to, keep it. If you don't want to, get rid of that. We don't hide it because we want to see that. We just shy it. Neck. We don't need that. Who's the parent for head? The thing is, the anchor point of head and this pin of neck, they're exactly on top of each other. You should keep one of them and shy the other one. I would keep head and hide and shy this. These two, because on top of the pin we haven't created any bone, we have to keep the pins. If you have the pins, on top of that you have bone, we get rid of the pins because we do the control with the bones. Neck, keep it or shy it. Hide or shy or shy? Shy. Because we have pins on neck, we don't need the layer of neck. Color, again, if you need that, keep it. If you don't need that, shy it. Arm, these three arms. Keep them, yep. Neck, exactly. Between neck root and neck, you have to choose one of them. I would choose this neck. I would shy and hide this neck. Body, hide, just shy. Torso, we don't have any pins on that. F leg, front leg, shoe, hide and shy. Shoe, shy. Shoe, back leg, backhand. We don't have any pins on that. Now we just have this much layer, which is much easier now. Definitely for the leg we just need these two. You can do this, but if the software creates something for you, don't touch it. You can unlock it and shy this, but my preference is letting it be there. Is there any question? Is everything obvious? Have a good night.